On this episode of the O2 Garage, I got a bit of a decision to make because I can build this Falcon one of two ways, and I'm really not sure which way I should do it. Well, the sun is shining, the birds are making an absolute racket, and we are back on the AU Falcon. And today it's all about getting things prepared and ready for the build, because I'm a little bit confused as to which direction I actually want to go with the car. But right now I'm going to forget all that, and all I'm going to focus on is putting as much degreaser as I can on here and on the back. That's it. That's what we're doing right now. The steam cleaning looks like it has done the job correctly. Have a look at that. That looks very, very, very clean indeed, which is always a good way to be. Also, I did the tray, got that all sorted out, and that looks really a lot better than what it does. Even little bits and pieces like the diff down there looks a hell of a lot cleaner. This is all going to end up getting painted, cleaned up, wiped over, and so forth. And what I also did whilst I've got the sun shining is I cleaned all inside the doors as well. A little bit of degreaser on the grand scheme of things has absolutely worked a treat. So I reckon it's starting to come together pretty good. Okay, let me explain the issue that we have with this car. There's nothing wrong with it, it's fine, but the project can go one of two ways. And for a long time, I've been thinking about building one of these without a tray on the back, exposed rear, roll cage, you know, very mechanical Terminator Techno style, but slammed right down. You see a lot of AU Falcons around, you know, that are slammed, but none that are probably going to be done like this one here, a bit sort of rat rod, street rod style. And that was the plan. And then something got thrown into the mix because I've been following a lot of different groups on YouTube and also on Facebook, and you can get some really good inspiration out there. And one of the sites that I follow is one called Safari All the Cars. Now, if you know what safari cars are, then that's fine. If you don't know what safari cars, well, they are lifted up vehicles. The suspension is not four-wheel drive style. It's basically a passenger vehicle lifted up a little bit higher than normal. Normally done through springs and blocks and bits and pieces and tyres to give it a sort of semi-off-road look. And in fact, Ford itself offered a range just after the AU called the RTV. Now, the RTV utes were a really cool factory fitted option. They had little guard flares at the front. There was a couple of different variants you could get, and those proved to be quite popular. And when I look at this, I thought, yeah, maybe I should safari it. And I thought, no, I won't. And then there was a bit of a game changer. Oh, here's the game changer. This is a BF Goodrich all-terrain T8, and it's got lots of tread and lots of bits and pieces on these tyres, and I've got 4 of them. They were given to me by Uncle Mark.
Now piss off.
So thank you, Uncle Mark, for confusing the situation. These are 16-inch tyres, and these 16-inch tyres will go directly on those shark fin 16-inch rims. So technically we wouldn't need to buy any rims. We could just put those tyres on there, and then we've got our rolling stock ready to go. Because I think you'll agree, those rims don't look too bad on there. So here we are sitting on a Sunday afternoon, trying to work out whether we go up or whether we go down. And it all comes down to a phone call. The phone call. The decision will be made on a phone call. You see, because what you guys don't know is I've been tracking a set of 19-inch rims online for this, and if I was going to go down really low, I was going to put a massive big set of rims on them. And so if this guy calls me back and says the rims are still available, then we are going to jump in the Pajero and we're going to cannonball to the other side of town, and I'm going to get these rims, and then we're going to go down low. Outside of that, we might be going up. So we're in a holding pattern at the moment. And I kind of want to go both ways. I'll be totally honest with you. So as you've probably worked out by now, we're sitting in the car. I got Thomas with me, and we got the message. We got the message. So have a guess what? We got ourselves a set of 19s. We're going down, not up. All right, so we have got ourselves some 19-inch rims. Don't actually know how wide they are. I think they're like BBS or BMS motorsport wheels, and they're a deep dish concave style wheel, which is going to give the Falcon a really chunky look, which is what we're after. But we're going to go down as low as we can, legally obviously, and give it a real squatted look. And the AU's got a pretty good nose as well. A lot of people put the XR6, XR8 fronts on them, and I think that the AU nose is going to look better. And a lot of people like AUs. They're a bit of a cult car now, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah?
Drift car a bit.
Bit of a drift car. Actually, you know what we could do? We could do this and maybe then take it to a drift event. Not to drift it, but take it and just park it and see what they think.
Yeah.
Because we know a few guys that drift, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, why don't we do that? Let's do that. All right, plan set. Lower the AU, take it to a drift event. So it's Father's Day, and I'm going to do things a little bit arse about. I don't normally do it this way, but it's Father's Day, and on Father's Day, fathers can do what they want to do. So what we have is we currently have the Falcon sitting here, not doing too much. We're waiting for a little bit more time, and I've got the 19s sitting up there. So what I think I might do is put the 19s on, just trial fit them, just to have a look, you know, because I just want to see what they look like. Let's do that. And here it is, 19s on an AU Falcon with no fridge box on the back. And I think you'll agree, that doesn't actually look too bad. Bodywork's still pretty rough. I've dragged it up in the shed because we have got a little bit of a problem. And the problem is that it's not starting. And when it doesn't start on an AU, that normally means things like the immobilizer and the smart shield and all the stuff that I have absolutely no idea about these things. But I think you'll agree, it actually doesn't look too bad. The big rims certainly make it look pretty good on the grand scheme of things. One of the problems I have found though with these cars is that if there's a brake issue, that can sometimes trigger the immobilizer as well. And I tried to turn it on gas, and it wouldn't start on gas, and then suddenly wouldn't start full stop. But have a look at the wiring. You come across here and have a look at the wiring at the back here. It's an absolute, I mean, dog's breakfast. There's some stuff here that I'm looking at this going, yeah, right. So what we need to do, I think, is a little bit of work in the back end here. We'll get the wiring all sorted out, tidied up. We'll get the tail lights back on. And what I'm also going to do in here is I'm actually going to strip everything out inside because it stinks so bad. But I figured if I pull everything out, I give the carpet a clean whilst I've got everything out, I can go through the wiring. Little things like these don't work, so I've got to get those up and running. So that means I really have to pull it all apart, and the garage is the best place to do it. So let's go. So the first issue I found is, apart from the fact that this wiring is all over the joint, is this thing here, which is the old trailer plug. And I'll save the trailer plug. The trailer plug itself is in pretty good nick, but this thing here is never going to have a trailer on the back of it while I've got it. So we're going to pull this off, which is the tow bar, and I'm going to very unceremoniously do that. That's how you fix things on the O2 garage. You get the side cutters out and you cut your problems away. And have a look at this. Tow bar off, suddenly the proportions change. Check this out. How good is this starting to look? You can see the back end of the car is starting to come right up. We've got all the wiring out, so we can crack on and get that sorted out. Next up, we're going to pop some lowering blocks in, just to bring the back down, just to even it up a bit, because you can see it's sitting a little bit high at the moment, and we need to, oh no, not fat enough, just bring it down a little bit. We'll play around with the leaf springs at the same time. But that's what this car's all about, just changing the proportions and giving somebody different to look at when they look at an AU Falcon, because they all look the same and they're all boring. But all that and more coming up on the next episode. So hit like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode where I think we'll detail the back end and get this sorted. Yep, let's finish this off. See you then. Sometimes when you're fixing a car, you come across stuff that other people have done that you look at and you just go, that is the dodgiest of the dodgiest. I think I have a really good candidate for Super Dodge Award. Have a look at this. This was actually the wiring for the trailer plug. Have a look at this. That's an alligator clip on a wire that goes to another alligator clip. I reckon that was an earth wire. How dodgy is that?
Ew.